Hi Year 4. We're going to do some work on fractions this morning, and we're going to start with a little question about one of my favourite things. Cake. Okay, I'm going to read this problem and then I'm going to give you a little bit of time to go away and think about a solution to it. Two friends were sharing a cake between them. One friend ate 4/8 of the cake and the other friend ate 2/8. How much cake did they eat altogether? How much cake was left? Now, I really want you to think about how you're going to demonstrate your answer. I don't want just you to say a fraction or an answer. I want you to be able to prove it. So, for example, what I made to help myself do it was I took a little piece of paper and I folded it into eighths, and I'm going to be able to use that for my working out. So think about that. That's a big clue. I want you to be able to model what you have done. So you're going to go away now, and then you can come back and we'll have a look at the solution together. But I want you to pause this video and go away, have a go at it, and then come back to me. Okay, so I hope that you have reached a solution and you've got some written recording of how you've actually worked that out. Now, as I said before, I used a piece of paper to work mine. And what I did was I took a rectangular piece of paper. I knew that we were working with eighths and I knew I could easily fold that. So if I fold that paper in half, I have made 2 equal parts. If I fold that paper in half again, I will have made myself 4 equal parts. And if I fold it one more time, I have folded my paper into 8 equal parts. And that's what's really important about fractions, recognizing they are equal parts of a whole. I was then able to think about, well, one of my friends ate 4/8 of the cake, and I marked those on there, and one friend ate 2/8 of the cake, and I could quite easily mark it onto my model. I've done something very similar on the computer that I'm going to show you as well. So I have drawn a bar model really here with 8 parts because my denominator is 8. And then I can mark on here, well, one of those friends ate 4/8. So they ate 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 parts of that cake. And the other friend ate 2/8. So 1, 2 parts. The numerator is telling me how many parts of that whole. And now I can really clearly see of what I have marked, how much cake they eat altogether. Well, I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts shaded out of 8 parts in total. So that as a fraction is 6/8. And how much cake was left? Well, I can see I've got these 2 pieces here, 2 out of the 8. So my answer there would be 2/8. It's really important that we're using some models today to work these questions out. And you're going to have a go now at these questions. So you can draw models again. These are not going to be so easy to fold because if you look at the numerator, we've got 5. Well, sorry, denominator, we've got 5 and we've got 7. And those aren't so easy to fold into equal parts. But if you've got squared paper, you can draw a very, very accurate model. Or if you've just got plain paper, just give it your best shot, trying to keep them as equal as possible. I want you to have a go at working out those models, those questions there, and then we will talk about those and get the answers together. So I'm going to ask you to pause this video again while you go away and work out those 3 calculations. And I want you to start to consider, when we're adding these fractions together, what is happening to the numerator that top number in the fraction, and what is happening to the denominator. That will be part of your explanation. So have a go at working them out, and then we'll go through the answers together. Okay, so let's have a look at those 3 separate questions that you had to do there. Now, I'm hoping that you have got yourself a bar model once again to have a look at. I'm going to show you the first calculation, and I'm going to give you the answers to the second and third. So drawing our own models to calculate 1/5, add 2/5. So I can mark that on here, and I've got 1/5 and then 2/5, so a further 2 parts, 1, 2. And hopefully you can see how many I have shaded here in total. So I have shaded 3 parts out of 5. I'm hoping what you noticed here, the denominator is not changing, it always stays the same. The numerator is changing, but the number of parts in the whole is not changing. So the denominator remains the same all the time. And you are only looking at the numerators and adding those together. So 1/5 add 2/5 is 3/5. The other answers we were looking for are here. So have a look, check you've got those correct answers. If you've got a different colour pencil or pen, you can mark your work and check that you've got those right so far. And then we're going to move on to a couple more problems. So here we have 2 slightly longer problems that I want you to go away and have a look at. You've got these on a paper copy for you to have a look. Rosie and Whitney are solving 4/7, add 2/7. And as you can see, Rosie and Whitney have come up with very different answers. Who do you agree with? But the most important part here is explain why. Now your models again are going to be really useful to demonstrate why one of those you think is correct and why one of them is not correct. And that's what we're going to be looking for in your work as well. When you email that to us and we can see it, we'll be looking for those models to clearly demonstrate you understand why one of them is right and why one of them is wrong. Then you have a question with Mo and Teddy sharing chocolates. Chocolate's definitely the theme of the day. Now they have both eaten an odd number of chocolates. So complete the number sentence to show what fraction of the chocolates they each could have eaten. So when you've got all of those chocolates in the box, we've got 12 12ths. That's equivalent to 1. But if they've both eaten an odd number, what could the 2 fractions that add together be? Now, there isn't just one answer. I am looking for 3 possible answers on that question. And finally, because you'll be steaming through these now, very feeling confident, I am sure, the next question are these. Now, I'm not expecting you to draw these, because when we get down to F and you have 111 parts, that's going to be a really big piece of paper. So I think by this point, you'll be so confident about what's happening with the numerators and the denominators, you'll be able to whiz through these really quickly. You're going to pause the video. You're going to go through. You're going to solve all 3 of those questions I've just shown you, the Rose and Whitney one, the Teddy question, the calculations at the end, and then come back to the video and I will share those solutions with you at the very end. Okay, so hopefully you've been through those 3 different activities now. I'm going to show you the solutions. Again, if you've got a different colour pen or pencil that you can use, you can mark your own work. If you've made any errors, hopefully you'll be able to see why. If not, let us know so that we can explain it to you again. Talk it through with an adult if you can. So here are all the answers that we were looking for. I'm just going to move myself out of the way. So Rosie was the one that had the correct answer there, 6/7. Whitney has made the mistake of adding the denominators. Remember, we said earlier, the denominators do not change. The number of parts in the whole has not changed. It's only the numerator, how many we are focusing on, that has changed. And we would have expected to see a bar model or a strip of paper, something that clearly shows that when you add 4/7 and 2/7, you're not going to get the answer 6/14. Mo and Teddy were sharing those chocolates, and there were 3 possible answers that we were looking for. Both had to eat an odd number, so they could have 1/12 and 11/12. Those numerators are both odd, but they add together to make 12/12. Or you could have had 3/12 and 9/12, and 5/12 and 7/12. So you needed all 3 of those answers. And then we have completed the additions. So A, the answer is 7/8. B, we've got 7/9. C, 7/29. D, 7/103. E, 14/31. And 50/111 parts in the whole is F. So hopefully you've gone on okay with all those today. We're going to carry on with a little bit more fraction work tomorrow. Anything you're not sure of, let us know. What you were really successful at, let us know. And I will see you again tomorrow.